Unfortunately, America is descending into racial wars all over the country, and now we've kind of got a bit of a crossover episode because one of Chud the Builder's biggest defenders, he was trying to ride out for, for the whites in the battle against Carmelo Anthony and ended up getting himself arrested, and now behind bars. Apparently, he is finding out that all that white power stuff, they ain't really the one on the yard, okay? Look, I know that there's a lot of different racial gangs when it comes to prison, but really, when you are face to face with some real individuals, okay, all of that shit's out the window. So I'm going to break this down to you. I'm a little bit late to this story. I took a few days off, but I'm kind of back getting into topics. And I did want to cover this because I just found it personally quite interesting in terms of this kind of race war that's going on in America right now. And what's really crazy is that I'm going to do another update on the Carmelo Anthony situation and, Austin Metcalf's dad kind of coming out with some quite racist statements. And the whole thing is just really, really sad to see. So I just want to make it really clear before I get deep into this, all right? I denounce all of this racism, all of this, this unacceptable bigotry. We're covering this for documentary and journalistic purposes. We don't condone or endorse any of these messages. And quite frankly, what I'm saying? I don't rate this kind of talk, okay? So Jake Lang is one of Chud the Builder's biggest supporters, okay? And he's jumped out of the Carmelo Anthony trial. They call him a Zionist supremacist agitator, posing as a white supremacist who's trying to start a racial civil war. He said Carmelo Anthony needs to be hung from a tree as his Jewish enslaver forefathers did to black people in America, but they claim they're a minority. This is a little bit crazy, okay? So, again, I don't condone any of these statements, all right, but I'm just going to show you what he was saying. Wilding out.
He should be swinging from a tree outside this courthouse. Carmelo Anthony should be hanging from a tree. He wants to reestablish race relations in this country so that we can get along.
Tensions were high today for the Carmelo Anthony case, who is on trial for the alleged unaliving of Austin Metcalf.
We love our black youth. They deserve protection too. So, excuse me if I use colorful language like Carmelo Anthony needs to be swinging from a tree. Our people are being hunted by your people.
It's the other way around because for years and years and centuries, white people have killed black people. Do you deny that? Like to have hung black people in trees. Like you said.
Look at him thinking like, how can I sidestep this statement to just speak about this situation in my favor?
Enslaved black people, incarcerated black people.
I think it's victim culture. I think it's victim culture, and there's too much. You crack-ass motherfucker, you barely made it to the... You got one foot in the grave and one on a banana peel. I'm gonna push you if I get close enough.
So here's the thing, all right? Jake Lang, he was very quickly arrested on a terrorism charge. Basically, his threats and his statements really... I don't know exactly how the law works, but it sounds like he was trying to incite racial hatred. It sounds like he was low-key trying to incite a lynching, and is not really cool. And apparently, thankfully, that's actually not cool in the eyes of the law. So he was arrested on terrorism charges, and he was given a bond of $1 million. So he getting the Chud starter pack. He should be proud. He getting exactly what he wanted to. He like his hero Chud now.
We've also learned about the arrest of far-right influencer Jake Lang. The pardoned January 6th rioter who lives in Florida made multiple appearances outside the Carmelo Anthony trial this week. He's now in the Dallas County Jail on a $1 million bond and is facing charges of making terroristic threats. It's Lang's second arrest in North Texas this month.
So his second arrest in North Texas, right? So this guy's really, this guy's a serial criminal at this point, all right? He wants to call out all these different communities, but he really is out here being a serial criminal, which is pretty bad. But here's him talking on a phone call after the arrest, and, rumor has it he was having a very hard time behind bars.
Hey guys, it's Jake Lang here. I'm in the Dallas County Jail. They ripped me off the plane today. Dozens of officers treating me like El Chapo. They drove me through the tarmac. They've arrested me for a felony, what's called terroristic threat, simply because I said that if the jury did not find Carmelo Anthony guilty, that we, the people, will deal with justice. And this is a classic case of lawfare.
You can't do that, all right? You can't say, if the court doesn't give the response that I want, I'm going to take vigilante justice into my hand. No, you can't do that.
Squash a First Amendment protester like myself. We had a press conference, an LED truck, speaker system, everything for our 6:30 press conference event outside the Carmelo Anthony murder trial to celebrate justice being done in this case and call out the rest of the American people to stand with before another Rita Zaruski and another Austin Metcalf happens to make real change. And they shut down my voice. They arrested me. They're holding me here, probably on an exorbitant bond. I'm going to see the judge in the morning. So please, guys, go to my Gift and Go account, donate some money to help me get out of here. I'll be stuck here for months in solitary confinement if I don't make bond. This is two-tiered persecution against...
This call will be terminated in 2 minutes.
The white people of this world, we are under attack, and what they're doing to me, they want to do to all of us. I'm just at the forefront here. The lawfare and the weaponized DOJ and these deep state assets want to destroy us all. We cannot allow it to happen. If they do this to me, they can do it to you. Please, guys, stand up. We can't allow our good brothers like Chud, myself, and other great patriots to rot away in prison. Let's get me and my brothers home. God bless you.
So he said, let's get me out. All right, please get me out. All I did was threaten to take the law into my hand and murder somebody if I didn't get the result I liked from a judge. That's all I did. Now, we can't allow that, okay? We can't have that, because if that's the case, then, hey, fuck the judges. We'll just do whatever we want, right? We'll just string people up if we don't like the results. That's not how a civilized society functions, okay? So this is the latest update from him, right? And this is pretty hilarious. It says, Jake remains locked up on a $1 million bond in a maximum security disgusting cell. I don't know what you were expecting, like the Ritz-Carlton, but yeah, you in jail. You in jail. Every lawyer I've contacted has been blown away with the bond amount. And they've all said they never heard anything like it, and that's completely outrageous. They told me they have clients on murder charges with $150,000 bonds. Now, I'm not condoning that, but it's like, you really trying to destroy the fabric of society, bro. Like, you really trying to, convince everybody to do extrajudicial justice, all right? Even if you disagree with the verdict, you can't be out here calling for hangings. This is 2026, not how society is conducted. So, low-key, you more dangerous than a murderer, really, because of the rhetoric that you're putting across, and you're inciting people to kill and go against what a judge thinks, or a jury thinks. So it says, it's obvious they want to silence and destroy Jake, but we refuse to give them their pound of flesh. The fight goes on. So here's an update from him himself. He said, they stuck me in the most soiled cell I've ever seen, let alone been inside. I don't know what he thought he was getting, the Soho House suite, the Ritz-Carlton, you know what I'm saying? Even the Hilton, Doubletree. Bro, you in jail. This is jail. The most soiled cell I've ever seen, let alone been... So he's seen hella soiled cells, but he hasn't been inside some of them. I mean, what is this? He said it was drenched in piss and smelt so much like ammonia, I couldn't breathe without taking my shirt off and wrapping it around my face. I was getting nausea and migraines. That's pretty bad. There was literally crusty piles of caked on human shit in 2 different corners. Ugh. That I was forced to clean with my bare hands and toilet paper. No soap, no mop, nothing. All right. I ended up getting... This is too funny. I ended up getting some on my fingers and not be able to get the smell of dookie off my fingers, and I projectiles vomited in my own cell. Please release the footage. This sounds like... This is pure comedy. They didn't even give me a blanket all night, so I was frozen and wrapped myself in the 2-inch mat they gave me. I've been to a dozen facilities because of January 6th, and I've never been treated worse. This was like the Iraqi prison death camps my old cellmate Lirim told me about. I have no underwater. Sorry, I have no underwear, no socks, no towel, no soap, no Bible, no toothbrush, no commissary, just dookie under my fingernails. I'm literally in an empty cell with a roll of toilet paper, a mat, a shirt, and pants. That's it. That's what I've been reduced to. The most vile and inhumane treatment ever. I don't know how the good officers of Texas can watch so callously as such intense human suffering. Heartlessness and emptiness marks both the prisoners and the staff in this broken environment. I myself have taken heart, knowing God is with me even in here. God ain't in there, right? God's out there chilling with Austin Metcalf's dad, by the sounds of it, okay? So here's some more details about the arrest and also the background of Jake Lang, just so you know what piece of work we're dealing with here, okay? So this is kind of a bit of a breakdown of his history as a pardoned January 6th rioter. So They're saying at least 97 of the January 6 rioters have been accused of new crimes after receiving presidential pardons, but only one has been charged on 4 separate occasions. So for nearly a year and a half, the list of January 6 rioters who received pardons from Donald Trump, only to run into fresh trouble with the law after receiving clemency, has grown, reaching unsettling lengths. Hoping to determine exactly how long the list is, Lawfare, a non-profit legal issues publication, published a study last week that found at least 97 people were charged in connection with the assault on the Capitol have since been accused of new crimes. Jake Lang, however, stands out as a special case, the Dallas Morning News reported on Wednesday. They said a far-right influencer who repeatedly tried to inflame racial tensions around the Carmelo Anthony case was arrested Tuesday and accused of making terroristic threats. Jake Lang was booked into the Dallas County Jail and faces a charge of a terroristic threat to place the public in fear of serious bodily harm, interrupting public services, or influencing a government, according to jail records. He was arrested by a Texas Department of Public Safety officers, and his bail is set at $1 million. So he was arrested after he allegedly threatened extrajudicial mob violence against a black teenager. You can't do that, even if I disagreed. And I really disagreed with the verdict. Let's say I felt the other way, all right? Let's say I felt like this was a racial injustice, all right? I cannot talk, bro, that's just them to the breaks. You got to file that appeal. Go and march. Change the law. You can't say we're gonna do a lynching. You can't do that. It's over with, right? We few hundred years on from that type of nonsense going around. So yes, you're a criminal. You're doing a crime. You're trying to convince people that this system of society and justice and checks and balances that we have is nonsense, and you just want to be tyrannical and take over and do whatever you want. We can't have it. All right. Says if his name sounds familiar, it might be because he was arrested last week and charged with criminal trespass outside a rally in Texas. In February, he was also arrested in Minneapolis after destroying an ice sculpture that was outside the state capitol, which came around the time Lang was charged with threatening a police officer who served at the Capitol. So he was charged with threatening a police officer who served at the Capitol. It says, in other words, nearly 100 rioters have been accused of new crimes after receiving pardons from Trump, but only one has been charged on 4 separate occasions, and that's Lang. Even though he's denied any wrongdoing, all right, he's out here wilding. He's given the January 6th rioters a bad name, as if they didn't already have a pretty bad name. He's making it worse. So since he got pardoned by Trump in 2025, he's basically become one of the loudest voices on the far-right movement, the very far-right movement. And he's basically claimed that he has officially disproved that George Floyd's death was caused by the police. And, this is, I'm going to give you a trigger warning for this one too, because this is crazy, right? It's saying prominent January 6er Jake Lang uploaded footage of him kneeling on the neck of a fellow J6er, Philip Anderson, in an attempt to disprove the George Floyd murder theory. This was filmed right in front of the prison that Derek Chauvin is being held in. And I'm pretty sure I even see Elon Musk talking about something to do with Derek Chauvin not really being deserving of what he got. And like, it's just crazy, bro. It's just, we can't have police officers doing this. The fact that you even had to do this is like, bro, this shouldn't happen.
We're gonna disprove it right here. There's a fentanyl overdose.
Okay, so look, this is almost all my weight. Philip, can you breathe?
I can breathe.
You can breathe?
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm gonna bounce all my weight on you. Can you still breathe?
Yes, I can still breathe.
Okay, that is fallacy. George Floyd died over fentanyl overdose.
Okay, well, you didn't do that for 8 minutes. You did it for about less than 8 seconds, all right? But anyway, okay, he was arrested in Minnesota. He had apparently damaged an anti-ice sculpture during a protest. So this is a little backstory on that, all right? And I remember seeing this. I didn't know it was this clown, but I remember seeing this because he did a really bad job of destroying it, right? He destroyed this ice sculpture, and basically he got arrested for this. But like, I know this says prosecute ice or something. At a glance, it just looks like it says prostitute, honestly. The way he's standing, it just looks like it says prostitute. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, we let the prostitutes live, they're cool. But basically, he did a really bad job of kicking this over, and really he should have got arrested for just being such a clown. Look at this. Harder than it looked, right? Like, his ankles killing him, throbbing after this. Much harder work than he thought it was going to be.
Ice, baby. America first, America only. We'll see you here February 7th, Saturday, 12 noon. Outside.
Just the way the S nearly smoked him. He nearly, like, that S nearly did him in. He came back with a venge. His thighs hurting after this. Now, I'm going to give you another trigger warning because this is definitely offensive. Here he is burning Qurans in front of a mosque. Now, I'm assuming he bought this Quran himself, right? I'm assuming he bought this Quran off of Amazon It's his Quran. If it's his Quran, he can burn it. Obviously, it's very offensive, all right, to people. But at the end of the day, look, I'm not really religious. Like, it's all just words on a page at the end of the day, bro. Like, whether it's a Quran, a Bible, a goddamn McDonald's pamphlet, you know what I'm saying? It's just, who cares, okay? But this obviously gets people up, and it riles people up. This one, I'm kind of like, okay, this doesn't mean he deserves to be killed. It's definitely rude. It's definitely out of line. But if he wants to burn his own Quran or his own American flag, who am I to tell him not to do that?
We have a right to a Christian country. This is a white country.
So once again, right, he's definitely catching a 2nd or 3rd degree burn to his hand, right? Like, his hand's burning up. His hand's feeling the bloody hellfire right now.
Country founded by my forefathers, not to be taken by mongrels from the third world.
You missed it. So look, he's not even good at his racial hatred incitements that he's attempting, right? He's trying to incite racial hatred. He's slipping over the S, all right? He's trying to kick the Quran. He's missing it, all right? You know what I'm saying? He's a mess. He is a mess. So I'm not really thinking this guy, this guy couldn't, you know, he couldn't organize a piss up in a brewery, as we say in England. I don't think him saying that he was going to go and lynch people after that trial, I don't think he could have organized that. He would have fucked around, hung himself by accident, right? He'd have fumbled the rope and ended up hanging himself. So I don't really rate his abilities to incite racial hatred. He kind of sucks at it, but really we need to get him off the streets. And I just spotted he had the Confederate flag on his back there, which is obviously, we ain't jacking that. Okay, so he's been doing a lot of crazy stuff. This is another quite offensive thing he did. He tried to deliver a roast pig to New York Mayor Zohran Mamdani's office during Ramadan, as he is obviously a Muslim. And this kind of picked up some attention and some headlines. So he's out here going state to state doing the most, right? And it's like, are we really surprised this guy got arrested? You know, I'm all for free speech, but this ain't speech, bro. You pulled up with a whole pig. But is that, I don't know, is that illegal? Is it illegal? It's wrong, but is it illegal?
Fuck you, Cat 47. Fuck you and the camouflage bullshit. Fuck you and the leather jacket. Get the fuck out of here.
Walk up that motherfucker.
This is my city. What's up, Ford?
Walk
I got
up,
a big roast here, guys.
I see that.
You know you're protected because there's cops around here. Keep running your mouth. Keep running your mouth, beta boy.
Yeah. You don't know. New York City's my city.
White supremacist tattoos. White supremacist flag out there.
So look, they delivering this pig. They got protesters following them, telling them off, kind of ruining the moment for them. He doing the most. He doing way.
Get out.
Go. Hey, you're not going to do shit but run your mouth, you beta.
Yes, I am. Beta. Jesus Christ. I'm smarter than you. You measure things in terms of whiteness. I'm more white than you. Yeah. I have more money than you. I'm not here to fight you. I'm not fucking here to fight you.
So these little stunts, all right, they ain't really doing too much for him. I mean, this does have 10 million views, to be fair. I'm not going to lie. This has 10 million views. That's actually blown my mind, honestly. Like, I was thinking, bro, he out here doing this nonsense with no motion, but he got 10 million views on that. That's mental. That's actually mental. So during the Chud the Builder hearing, he did get arrested, all right? And you know, he really wanted Chud's right-hand man. This is Jake Lang outside the courthouse before he was arrested for contempt of court. Two-tier justice. Now, look, in the UK, we've got this thing called two-tier policing, all right? But I'd never really seen anyone in America talk about this two-tier justice situation. And honestly, I'm not sure I believe that it exists in America. But this has kind of become like a little bit of a catchphrase. I don't think it's a far-right thing, but in the UK, you know, a lot of people have said it. They're calling Keir Starmer two-tier Keir. And I just would say that, like, recent cases, I think it's made it pretty hard to ignore that, at least in the UK, different groups are getting treated completely differently. And yeah, I'll leave it at that because I don't want to get arrested. But basically, this two-tier justice thing is now over here, and they're trotting this out for Chud the Builder. So Jake Lang's cottoned on to this kind of big catchphrase that's a big thing in the UK. And this is him basically getting arrested outside the courthouse for contempt of court.
Chud the Builder's courthouse right now. The fate outside Chud the Builder's courthouse right now. The fate of the future of white civilization is here. Will we allow the court system to weaponize against us, to give us two-tiered treatment, or will we stand up as heritage Americans for Chud the Builder, who's been given a raw deal? He will wait in prison for the next few months until his court case, unless we bond him out. But the problem is the bond has been set at $1.25 million. It's unprecedented for an attempted murder charge, which was self-defense. This is two-tier justice. We have to stand against it. Come here, Clarksville, 9 a.m.
A few moments later.
Thank you, Mr. Custom.
I told you, sir, you did not have a speaking role today. You decided that you wanted one for whatever reason. I don't know why, but take your time. However, anybody on that side of the bar does not have a speaking role in any of these proceedings today. There's not going to be any hoopla or shenanigans from the gallery. You're going to be removed. And I'll talk.
So it's not two-tiered justice, right? It's one-tiered. If you're in the tier where you're talking in open court and you're not supposed to be, if you're not part of proceedings, you shut the hell up, right? That's not two-tiered justice. And, you know, the genuine claims of two-tiered justice that are going on in the world, I think are given a bad name by this. Because realistically, in the UK, we really just need equality for everybody and for everybody to get the same fair outcomes at justice. In this case, we're gonna see, right? It's not really two-tiered justice because the guy got freaking shot. So I think this catchphrase, unfortunately, is going to get weaponized by some really bad people. But basically, this is the reaction over on Reddit for Jake Lang's recent arrest, all right? Because he's cooked. He's cooked, all right? So they're saying, pardon January 6th rioter Jake Lang arrested in Dallas County, accused of terroristic threats, and his bond is set at $1 million. People saying, love this for them. Pardon him and pay him, sarcasm, right? Few cabinet positions opening soon. Secretary of Terror, that's hilarious. They're saying this clown needs to go to prison for a few years. They're saying true, but unfortunately with our system, he would just come out with deeper ties to white nationalism. Not that he doesn't already run around with his pointed white hat off already. The Post said that Lang was arrested for saying that if the jury didn't find Anthony Carmelo guilty, he would take care of it himself. Brilliant use of your First Amendment, jackass. Zero effect on the outcome. Hopefully the effect on his freedom of speech, or his freedom, is much greater. Saying send them all to CCOT. Couldn't happen to a more deserving douchebag. Is that him at J6? Is that him at J6? Saying that's not how you wear a watch, sir. He's getting his watch snatched by the looks of it. That's funny. Pretty sure it is when you're shooting so that you can still see your watch while holding a rifle. It's mostly a military thing. You wouldn't need it for a normal watch, though. He's only doing it because he's saw it in cold. He thinks it looks cool. Right, so these people are walking time bombs. Every time I see one of them arrested, I feel like I'm watching a MAGA version of Final Destination. I read that over a quarter of the January 6th insurrectionists have either been arrested, jailed, imprisoned, or shootouts with cops / killed. Only the best people. Right? Hasn't this clown been arrested multiple times in the last couple of months? Hope those legal bills pile high. Says he just bonded out from Collin County for criminal trespass last week. Picking up a new case while out on bond means that he forfeits the first bond on top of the current $1 million bond for the new case. They're saying MAGA idiots pay for his legal fees. He just starts a GoFundMe and gets money. Maybe one day this will stop since they're getting hit with inflation. People saying, yikes, I'm surprised he hasn't had his bond revoked in his other cases. They're saying it's weird. Get a reckless driving misdemeanor in Oregon and your pretrial condition doesn't allow you to leave the state without permission and can't have firearms. This dude is traveling freely while on pretrial release all over. So confusing. He's got pending charges for a felony in Minnesota. All right? It makes no sense. This is the fruity fellow who had trouble kicking over the ICE letters in Minnesota. The one who wears desert camo in the city for some reason. Yes, it is. Came back to do that in his Temu tactical gear, LMAO, after he was already run out of town when he came to protest in a Somali neighborhood to burn a Quran with bacon in it and have a pro-ICE rally, but only a handful showed up. Instead, a huge crowd of locals mocked him, squirted him with water guns, and he was so scared. Then he bumped his fat head on the way down from the building ledge, but claimed he was stabbed. Guy is such an effing lowlife loser. Says he posted on social media the mob was trying to lynch him, all right? He knows all about that. But the left loves crime and wants to defund the police. Sorry, this guy has 5 charges of increasing violence over the past year since his pardon for J6 conviction by Trump that I know about, all moving from state to state once he bails out. Do the same as Chud. Force him to get 10 plus bondsmen if he wants to get out. Add another to the list. They're saying, did someone ever explain to them that Trump can't pardon state charges? Says, wow, what in the world will make them feel so emboldened other than participating in an actual insurrection on the country's capital and being forgiven by the president, all right? I'm actually quite scared and upset about the racial tensions that I'm seeing in America, okay? It is really sad. I do wonder if there are deeper, more complicated reasons for this. I think there are a lot of really bad, tense things going on all sides of the political spectrum at the moment. But the thing is, I think that, look, everyone's tired of this MAGA movement and Trump. There's not really any feasible candidates on the Democratic side that I've seen. I mean, people saying Gavin Newsom, he's a Chad and he mogs, but like, ain't he living like a $12 million house? Like, how he got so much money? It don't make no sense. These rich politicians ain't making no sense. So I'd love to see a young person Honestly, I would love to see a young person take charge and get this. I mean, like, look at the last people we had. I mean, Trump's what, in his 70s? Biden was in his 70s. Obama, he was kind of young and charismatic at the start. All right, he was good. I remember 2008 just being lit. We was loving Obama, right? So can we maybe just get another black guy in there, like maybe a Hispanic guy? Let's just mix it up. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's what we need. All right, I don't know, but I am really, really concerned about the state of American politics, and it's scary because I love this country so much. I love being here. I love being part of what's going on. But yeah, you guys have got a lot of problems, and I really don't want America to end up like the UK, because I meet so many people in America talk about, oh, America's so horrible, it's desolate, I want to move out the country, I'm going to move to England, I'm going to move to Amsterdam, I'm going to move to France. These places suck. Europe is a mess right now. I don't want to get into it, but Europe is a mess and you're not really allowed to talk about it, all right? The two-tier policing, certain types of crime just spiking out of control for reasons that you're not allowed to talk about. It's really scary, and I fear for the women, especially for the women. And I would just be so sad to see America go the same way as the UK. I don't know how or why things are the way that they are, but it is very, very scary. So look, I will catch you guys in the next video. I'm about to do another video exclusively focused on what's going on with the whole Carmelo Anthony and, you know, Austin Metcalf's dad kind of coming out to say these pretty crazy things. So yeah, I'm going to come and do another update. I'll see you guys in that next video. Thank you for supporting the content. You might notice there's not been any good not really been any David updates for a minute. I will let you guys know as soon as I do have an update on that. But I don't think we're going to get, I think we're going to get a few updates in the next few weeks. So I will keep you guys posted. There's nothing new to say at this stage. But if there is, I'll let you guys know. But thank you so much for watching this video. Okay, if you want to hear me covering other topics, I'm a bit behind. I took a few days off. I know that I'm behind some of these topics, all right? But I'm just trying to get back on top of everything. And I'm going to experiment with some different types of topics soon as well. So I'm covering stuff that I'm interested in. I wanted to learn about this and catch up with what was going on with this clown. So just let me know what you thought of that, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.